Namaskar. I, Bhavini Parmar, UGC JRF, Indian Institute of Teacher Education, Gandhinagar. My PhD guide is Dr. Harshad A. Patel, Honorable Vice Chancellor, IIT Gandhinagar. Topic of my presentation is a comparative study of incentive programs for PhD scholars. I am glad to be a part of Research Conclave 2022, organized by School of Education, Central University of Gujarat. Little encouragement in any task can be a reason for great achievements. Academic incentives become a little push to learners to pursue desired education programs and achieve distinctive success in the same. The PhD program is one of the highest level of education degree. The rising standards of education needs more support. There are many government and non-government funding agencies that provide financial assistance to PhD scholars to do effective research work in their respective fields of education. The appropriate government of India and funding agencies initiate various financial programs to support PhD scholars financially and encourage them to do quality research work. National Scholarship Portal, UGC, ICSSR, CSIR, AICTE, and Digital Gujarat are well-known labels of such organizations which are providers of different financial assistance programs to PhD scholars with different purposes under different rules and regulations. There are also many state government initiatives like SHODH. The presented research work discussed the different and similarities between different financial assistance programs for PhD scholars of different faculties under different components like type, purpose, eligibility criteria, selection process, working process, funding, monitoring system, and refund process. The researcher has used a qualitative research method to reveal hidden aspects of taken incentive programs. The ultimate goal of these programs is to give financial assistance to enthusiast learners to produce authentic and meaningful quality research work in their research area with ease. This research work will allow PhD scholars of different financial assistance programs avail its benefit as per their eligibility and interest. Objectives of the research are to study academic incentive programs for PhD scholars of various streams offered by UGC, CSIR, ICSSR, AICTE, and KCG. To compare taken academic incentive programs for PhD scholars of various streams in terms of differences and similarities between them. Research methodology. I have used content analysis method to fulfill the study objectives. The official documents available on the website is taken as sample, and data analysis technique has been used by the researcher is content analysis technique through research tool of record schedule. Academic incentive programs. An incentive program is a formal system used to promote or encourage specific actions or behavior by a particular organization during a defined time. In academic field, the incentive given to the students is called academic incentive programs. There are many funding agencies providing financial assistance to PhD scholars. For the present inquiry, I have taken 5 organizations: UGC, CSIR, ICSSR, AICTE, and KCG. Under these organizations, I have taken few academic incentive programs for PhD scholars from UGC, UGC JRF in Science, Humanities, Social Science, Engineering and Technology, from CSIR JRF in Science and Technology. ICSSR, there are 4 categories of fellowship: full-term doctoral fellowship, institutional full-term doctoral fellowship, centrally administered short-term doctoral fellowship, and centrally administered contingency grant. AICTE doctoral fellowship and scheme of developing high quality research by KCG. I have taken few components to compare different financial incentive programs for PhD. Introduction, objectives, eligibility criteria, application and process, tenure and amount of fellowship, monitoring system, and continuation and refund process. Let us see each component one by one. UGC Junior Research Fellowship in Science, Humanities and Social Sciences can be utilized by the qualified candidates of UGC NET in their particular subjects with a distinctive score in the merit who pursue PhD in respective subject. ICSSR fellowships are selective PhD scholars by its committee under given 25 subjects of social science and humanities. AICTE doctoral fellowship is to PhD scholars of engineering and technology. Scheme of developing high quality research is for PhD scholars of Gujarat state institutions without delimitation of subjects. For further aspects have been discussed before. I would like to tell you the objectives of academic incentive programs, that the main objective of each incentive program for PhD is to promote research in respective field to produce meaningful research in varieties of research areas which can be benefited to society in one or another way. If we see the eligibility criteria, the common eligibility criteria for all programs is a beneficiary must be registered as a full-time PhD scholar in a recognized education institution. Qualified candidates of NET GRF or the UGC CSIR joint test are eligible for UGC Junior Research Fellowship in Science, Humanities and Social Sciences with a stipulated period of 2 years from the date of declaration of the result or date of issue of award letter. Eligibility criteria for ICSSR are stricter than other PhD incentive programs as they have more weightage on PhD topic with age limit of 40 years. ICSSR centrally administered contingency grant is for one time given to the scholars for equipments. AICTE has strict matriculate selection process for the beneficiary candidates along with age limit of 30 years as per UGC and CSIR fellowship scheme. Shod is for PhD scholars of Gujarat state candidates registered after July 2018 are eligible for the benefits. No other qualification is required for application. If we see the application and selection process of UGC JRF and CSIR JRF based on NET JRF or UGC CSIR joint test qualification. But ICSSR invites application through open advertisement with a deadline. Same. Shodh invites application through open advertisement as well as institutional circulars. If we see the tenure and amount of fellowship, UGC NET and CSIR NET is having tenure of 5 years in total. First 2 years as JRF with 31,000 fellowship and 10,000 contingency plus HRA. Last 3 years with SRF 34,000 fellowship, 20,000 contingency amount per annum plus HRA as per the region. ICSSR fellowship amount and tenure differs based on the category of full-time and part-time fellowship programs. ADF is given for 3 years. First 2 years with 31,000 fellowship and last year with 35,000 fellowship plus HRA and 15,000 contingency per annum. In short, candidates getting 15,000 per month for 2 consecutive research years and rupees 10,000 contingency per annum, but no HRA is given separately. Monitoring system of these incentive programs also differ from each other as UGC and CSIR fellowships, ADF and Shode scholarship has been monitored by beneficiaries institution and reported by the institution itself. Some ICSSR fellowships are directly monitored by the organization and rest through the institution of the scholar. Monitoring system includes progress report of the work and other documents duly signed by the beneficiary, the guides and institutional authorities for continuation of the benefits. Every university appoint a nodal officer of the particular scheme for the work from teaching or non-teaching staff. Discontinuation and refund process. There is no refund process observed in the fellowship schemes offered by UGC, ADF and ICSSR, but they are having discontinuation terms in different cases as completion of PhD work, unsatisfaction, research work by the researcher reported by the university, request from the researcher, or discontinuation of PhD. In short, if the candidate has to quit the scholarship or PhD program, then he or she has to refund the full amount of received stipend with 12 and 18% interest respectively. So I would like to conclude with the statement that whatever the rules and regulation of financial incentive programs, but any kind of financial assistance helps the PhD scholars a lot to produce quality research in respective field of research. All the scheme providing financial assistance to their PhD scholars have different objectives and purposes, but each in the favor of producing meaningful quality research by encouraging PhD scholars and reducing their financial stress. Fulfillment of eligibility criteria and continuation process make PhD scholar a better researcher. These kind of encouraging programs will definitely help the improve quality of higher education and fruitful for society and the nation. These are the references I have used to perform the inquiry. If you have any question, you can write me on my email. Thank you.